Imagine the dazzling lights of Thailandia's nightlife, where the streets pulse with energy and endless possibilities. Beneath this vibrant exterior, a hidden struggle unfolds every night. Japanese women in Thailandia face challenges that few dare to talk about, from exploitation and violence to isolation and cultural barriers. Join us as we peel back the layers of this enchanting country to reveal the untold stories and harsh realities that Japanese women really face after dark. Thailandia, a country renowned for its breathtaking beaches, rich cultural heritage, and bustling urban centers like Bangkok and Chiang Mai, attracts millions of tourists each year. Among these visitors are a significant number of Japanese women, drawn by Thailandia's allure for various reasons, be it tourism, business opportunities, education, or the allure of a new lifestyle abroad. Located in Southeast Asia, Thailandia is a land of contrasts. From the serene temples and vibrant markets to the high-energy nightlife and modern skyscrapers, the country offers a unique blend of tradition and modernity. The hospitality industry thrives here, with countless resorts, restaurants, and entertainment venues catering to both locals and tourists alike. In recent years, the number of Japanese women traveling to or residing in Thailandia has seen a noticeable increase. Whether it's for short-term vacations, long-term business assignments, or educational pursuits, Japanese women are making their presence felt in various sectors. Statistics from the Japan Tourism Agency indicate that thousands of Japanese women visit Thailandia annually, with many choosing to stay for extended periods. While Thailandia's reputation as a paradise destination is well earned, there's a less visible side that often goes unnoticed. The vibrant nightlife, though enticing, can sometimes mask the underlying issues that Japanese women face after dark. From navigating unfamiliar cultural landscapes to encountering safety challenges, the experiences of these women are multifaceted and complex. Understanding the challenges Japanese women face in Thailandia is crucial for several reasons. It sheds light on the broader issues of gender dynamics, cultural integration, and the safety of expatriates in foreign lands. Moreover, by highlighting these struggles, we can advocate for better support systems, informed travel practices, and policies that ensure the well-being of Japanese women abroad. Behind the glittering facade of Thailandia's nightlife lies a grim reality. Human trafficking remains a persistent and pervasive issue. Despite Thailandia's economic growth and development, the demand for cheap labor and illicit activities continues to fuel this dark trade. Human trafficking involves the illegal trade of people for the purposes of forced labor, sexual slavery, or commercial sexual exploitation. Thailandia serves as both a source and destination country for trafficked individuals, with women and girls being the most vulnerable targets. Japanese women, while often perceived as less vulnerable due to their nationality and economic status, are not immune to exploitation. Factors such as language barriers, lack of local support networks, and the desire for financial independence can make them susceptible to traffickers' deceitful tactics. Some women are lured with promises of legitimate employment opportunities in hospitality, education, or business sectors, only to find themselves trapped in exploitative situations. According to reports from the International Labour Organization, ILO, and various NGOs, thousands of women fall victim to trafficking in Thailandia each year. While specific data on Japanese women is limited due to the covert nature of trafficking, estimates suggest that a significant number of foreign women, including Japanese, are exploited in the sex industry and forced labor sectors. Take the story of Emiko, a Japanese woman who traveled to Thailandia for a teaching job. Promised a reputable position in a language school, she instead found herself coerced into working long hours under threat of violence and debt bondage. Emiko's ordeal is a stark example of how traffickers exploit the hopes and vulnerabilities of expatriates. Efforts to combat human trafficking in Thailandia involve both government initiatives and NGO interventions. The Thai government has enacted stricter laws and increased law enforcement efforts to dismantle trafficking networks. Additionally, organizations like ECPAT Thailand and Alisana provide support services, including rescue operations, legal assistance, and rehabilitation programs for victims. However, challenges such as corruption, inadequate resources, and the clandestine nature of trafficking operations hinder these efforts' effectiveness. Violence against women is a pervasive issue that transcends borders, and Japanese women in Thailandia are not exempt from its reach. From domestic abuse to sexual assault, the dangers are real and often hidden beneath the surface of Thailandia's bustling streets. Japanese women in Thailandia may encounter various forms of violence, including domestic violence. Many expatriate women form relationships that can turn abusive, often isolated from their support systems. Sexual assault. Both strangers and acquaintances can perpetrate sexual violence, sometimes in the context of exploitation. Harassment. Street harassment and verbal abuse are common, contributing to a hostile environment for foreign women. While comprehensive statistics specifically targeting Japanese women are scarce, broader data indicates a troubling trend. The Thai Ministry of Social Development and Human Security reported an increase in reported cases of violence against foreigners in recent years, though underreporting remains a significant issue due to cultural stigmas and fear of retaliation. Consider the story of Yuki, a Japanese graphic designer working in Bangkok. After hours at the office, Yuki often found herself in unsavory neighborhoods for nightlife, where she became a target for harassment. On one occasion, she was assaulted by a group of men in a late-night club. The trauma left her struggling with anxiety and fear, highlighting the psychological impact of such violence. Thailandia has laws in place to protect women from violence, including the Domestic Violence Victim Protection Act. However, enforcement is inconsistent, and societal attitudes often discourage victims from coming forward. The fear of losing their job, being ostracized, or not being believed further complicates the issue. Additionally, Japanese women may face language barriers when seeking legal recourse, making it difficult to navigate the legal system effectively. Employment in Thailandia can be both an opportunity and a source of significant challenges for Japanese women. While some find fulfilling careers, others grapple with discrimination, exploitation, and unsafe working conditions. Japanese women often find employment in sectors such as hospitality, education, retail, and business services. Positions range from teaching English and managing hotels to working in multinational corporations. The allure of international experience and career advancement attracts many to these roles. Despite their qualifications, Japanese women may face discrimination in the workplace. Issues include wage gaps. Women may be paid less than their male counterparts for the same work. Unfair labor practices, lack of clear contracts, unpaid overtime, and unsafe working conditions are common complaints. Workplace harassment, verbal abuse, sexual harassment, and unfair treatment can create a hostile work environment. Haruka, a Japanese woman working as a manager in a Bangkok hotel, experienced wage theft and was pressured to work excessive hours without proper compensation. Despite her attempts to address these issues through the company's HR department, she faced retaliation, including threats of termination. Haruka's story underscores the vulnerability of expatriate women in advocating for their rights. While there are resources available, such as expatriate support groups and labor rights organizations, many Japanese women find them inaccessible or insufficient. Language barriers and fear of jeopardizing their employment status deter women from seeking help. Organizations like Japan Association of Employers and Employees in Thailand, JAIT, provide some support, but more comprehensive measures are needed to protect foreign workers effectively. Living away from home in a foreign country can be incredibly isolating, and for Japanese women in Thailandia, this isolation can exacerbate mental health challenges. Being in a new environment without familiar support networks can lead to profound feelings of loneliness. Japanese women may struggle to form meaningful connections due to cultural differences, language barriers, and the transient nature of expatriate communities. The stress of adapting to a new culture, combined with potential experiences of exploitation or violence, can lead to serious mental health issues such as anxiety, persistent worry about safety, job security, and personal relationships. Depression, feelings of hopelessness, sadness, and a lack of interest in daily activities. Post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, for those who have experienced violence or severe exploitation. Accessing mental health services in Thailandia poses its own set of challenges. Many Japanese women may not be aware of available resources, or they may find it difficult to seek help due to stigma and cultural taboos surrounding mental health. Additionally, language barriers can make it hard to communicate effectively with mental health professionals. Miyuki, a Japanese woman working as an English teacher in Chiang Mai, found herself battling depression after feeling isolated and unsupported in her workplace. Without a strong support system, Miyuki struggled to cope with her feelings, leading to decreased productivity and a desire to return to Japan. Her story highlights the critical need for accessible mental health resources and community support for expatriate women. Navigating life in Thailandia without a strong grasp of the local language and cultural nuances can significantly increase the vulnerability of Japanese women to various challenges. Limited proficiency in Thai can make everyday interactions daunting. Simple tasks like grocery shopping, using public transportation, or seeking medical assistance become more complicated without effective communication skills. This language barrier can lead to misunderstandings, reduced access to services, and increased dependence on others. Cultural differences can lead to unsafe or uncomfortable situations. Misinterpretations of social cues, workplace norms, and local customs can result in conflicts or exploitation. For instance, the hierarchical nature of Thai workplaces may clash with Japanese women's expectations of egalitarian work environments, leading to frustration and stress. Efforts to bridge cultural and language gaps include language classes, cultural orientation programs, and community groups. Organizations like the Japan Foundation offer resources to help Japanese expatriates learn Thai and understand local customs. However, participation in these programs varies, and not all women have access to or the time for such training. Sakura, a Japanese graphic designer in Bangkok, found herself in a precarious situation when she couldn't communicate effectively with her employer about workplace issues. Misunderstandings about her job role and responsibilities led to overwork and underpayment. Without adequate language skills, Sakura felt powerless to advocate for herself, highlighting the critical role that language proficiency plays in protecting one's rights and well-being. Thailandia's nightlife is a vibrant tapestry of lights, music, and energy. However, the same environment that offers excitement can also be a hotspot for crime and harassment, particularly for foreign women navigating the streets after dark. Japanese women in Thailandia may encounter various forms of crime, including petty theft, pickpocketing and snatching wallets or personal items in crowded areas, street harassment, verbal abuse, catcalling, and unwanted attention from strangers. Sexual assault, incidents ranging from groping to more severe forms of sexual violence. Drug-related crimes. Some areas have a high presence of drug dealers and related violence, posing additional risks. Certain neighborhoods and districts in Thailandia are known for higher crime rates, especially at night. Areas around major tourist attractions like Khao San Road in Bangkok or popular nightlife spots in Pattaya and Phuket can be particularly risky. These areas often see a mix of tourists and locals, creating environments where petty crimes and harassment are more likely to occur. Data from the Royal Thai Police indicate that crime rates tend to spike during weekends and public holidays when nightlife activities are at their peak. While specific statistics on crimes against Japanese women are limited, reports suggest that foreign women are more likely to be targeted due to their perceived vulnerability and unfamiliarity with local laws. To enhance personal safety, Japanese women can adopt several strategies. Stay informed. Researching safe areas and being aware of high-risk zones can help in planning safer outings. Use reputable services. Opting for trusted transportation options like official taxis or ride-sharing services can reduce the risk of encountering crime. Travel in groups. There is safety in numbers, so avoiding walking alone late at night is advisable. Stay connected. Keeping in touch with friends or family and sharing one's location can provide an added layer of security. Learn basic Thai phrases. Knowing how to ask for help or express distress in Thai can be invaluable in emergencies. Naomi, a Japanese woman visiting Pattaya, shared her experience of being harassed while walking home late at night. Despite her efforts to ignore the verbal abuse, the persistent harassment made her feel unsafe and uncomfortable. Naomi's encounter underscores the daily challenges that many women face in maintaining their safety while enjoying the nightlife. To truly understand the dark side of Thailandia and what Japanese women face after dark, it's essential to hear personal stories and anecdotes that bring these issues to life. Emiko's story. Emiko, a 32-year-old Japanese woman, moved to Bangkok to pursue a career in the hospitality industry. Excited about the opportunities ahead, she took a job at a popular beachfront resort. However, soon after her arrival, Emiko found herself working excessively long hours with minimal pay. The management pressured her to cater to unregistered guests, blurring the lines between professional responsibilities and exploitative demands. Feeling trapped and unable to seek help due to language barriers and fear of losing her job, Emiko's situation worsened until she reached out to a local NGO for assistance. Her journey from hope to exploitation highlights the vulnerability of expatriate women in seeking fair treatment and safe working conditions. Dr. Sato's insights. Dr. Hana Sato, a sociologist specializing in migrant women's issues, emphasizes the importance of support systems for Japanese women in Thailandia. Many of these women come with dreams and aspirations, but once they arrive, they often find themselves navigating a complex web of challenges without adequate support. Language barriers, cultural differences, and the fear of retaliation make it difficult for them to seek help when needed. Survivor testimonial. Aiko's experience. Aiko, a Japanese woman who survived human trafficking in Thailandia, shares her harrowing experience. I was promised a legitimate job in a reputable company, but instead, I was forced into labor with no end in sight. The constant fear of punishment kept me silent, and I felt completely alone. It wasn't until a local activist reached out that I found the strength to escape and seek help. Case Study 1. Haruka's Workplace Struggles. Haruka, a Japanese expatriate working in a Bangkok hotel, faced wage theft and verbal abuse from her supervisors. Despite her attempts to address these issues through internal channels, Haruka was met with threats of termination, leaving her with no choice but to resign without proper compensation. Her case underscores the need for stronger labor protections and accessible legal avenues for foreign workers facing exploitation. Case Study 2. Yuki's Assault and Recovery. Yuki, a Japanese graphic designer in Chiang Mai, was assaulted in a late-night club. The trauma from the incident left her battling anxiety and depression, making it difficult to continue her work and enjoy her time abroad. Yuki's path to recovery involved counseling and support from a local women's shelter, highlighting the critical role of mental health services and safe spaces for victims of violence. Addressing the myriad challenges faced by Japanese women in Thailandia requires a concerted effort from both governments and non-governmental organizations, NGOs. The Japanese government has recognized the need to protect its citizens abroad and has implemented several initiatives. Travel advisories, regular updates informing citizens about potential risks and safety tips for traveling to Thailandia. Emergency assistance. Services that provide support and repatriation in case of emergencies, including exploitation or violence. Expatriate support networks, establishing community centers and hotlines to offer guidance and resources for Japanese women living in Thailandia. However, critics argue that these measures are often reactive rather than proactive, lacking comprehensive strategies to prevent exploitation before it occurs. Thailandia has taken steps to combat human trafficking and protect victims. Stricter laws, enactment of tougher penalties for traffickers, and increased regulations on industries prone to exploitation. Law enforcement training, programs aimed at better identifying and prosecuting trafficking cases. Victim support services, establishing shelters and rehabilitation programs for survivors. Despite these efforts, enforcement remains inconsistent, and corruption within law enforcement agencies can hinder progress. NGOs play a pivotal role in filling the gaps left by governmental efforts. EastPat Thailand focuses on eliminating the worst forms of child labor and trafficking. Alisana provides comprehensive support services, including legal aid, counseling, and safe housing for victims. The Japan Foundation offers cultural exchange programs and resources to help Japanese expatriates integrate safely into Thai society. These organizations often collaborate with local authorities to enhance their reach and effectiveness, but funding constraints and bureaucratic hurdles can limit their impact. Successful initiatives often result from collaboration between the Japanese and Thailandian governments, as well as partnerships with international bodies. bilateral agreements, agreements to share intelligence, streamline legal processes, and coordinate efforts to dismantle trafficking networks. Joint training programs, training for both Thai law enforcement and Japanese expatriates on recognizing and reporting exploitation. Community outreach, programs aimed at educating both locals and expatriates about the signs of trafficking and available resources for help. Despite these collaborative efforts, challenges such as differing legal frameworks and cultural sensitivities can impede seamless cooperation. To better understand the unique challenges faced by Japanese women in Thailandia, it's insightful to compare their experiences with those in other popular destinations. In countries like South Korea and the United States, Japanese women often encounter similar challenges, but with varying degrees of severity. South Korea. Similar cultural expectations and language barriers can lead to feelings of isolation, but stronger expatriate communities and more accessible support systems often provide better safety nets. United States. Despite being a more developed nation with robust legal protections, Japanese women in the US may face issues like workplace discrimination and harassment, though the mechanisms for reporting and addressing these problems are typically more established. When compared to global safety and women's rights indices, Thailandia ranks differently. Safety rankings. Countries like Sweden and Canada consistently rank higher in terms of safety and women's rights, offering more comprehensive protections and support systems. Best practices. Lessons can be learned from these nations, such as implementing more robust legal frameworks, enhancing community support programs, and promoting cultural sensitivity training for expatriates and locals alike. Thailandia's high tourism rates, combined with its economic disparities and cultural dynamics, create a unique environment where Japanese women may face heightened risks of exploitation and violence. Unlike some other countries, Thailandia's rapid urbanization and the transient nature of its expatriate communities can make it harder to establish lasting support networks and effective enforcement of protective measures. By adopting best practices from higher-ranking countries and tailoring them to Thailandia's specific context, there is potential to improve the safety and well-being of Japanese women residing or traveling there. The societal attitudes and cultural norms in Thailandia significantly influence the experiences of Japanese women, shaping both their interactions and the support they receive. Thailandia's cultural landscape is a blend of traditional values and modern influences. Traditional gender roles often place women in subordinate positions within both the family and the workplace. While urban areas may exhibit more progressive attitudes, rural regions tend to adhere more strictly to conventional norms. These societal expectations can impact Japanese women in several ways. Discrimination in the workplace. Women may face biases that limit their career advancement and reinforce unequal power dynamics. Limited support for victims. Cultural stigmas surrounding gender-based violence can discourage victims from seeking help, as societal judgment may follow. Expectations of compliance. Expatriate women might feel pressured to conform to local customs, even when it compromises their safety or well-being. Japanese women in Thailandia often contend with stereotypes that can exacerbate their vulnerabilities. Perceived vulnerability. There's a common misconception that foreign women, including Japanese, are more naive or easier to exploit, making them prime targets for traffickers and perpetrators of violence. Cultural misunderstandings. Misinterpretations of Japanese customs and behaviors can lead to misunderstandings or mistreatment, further isolating these women from local support systems. Efforts to challenge and change these societal attitudes are underway, but progress is slow. Awareness campaigns. NGOs and advocacy groups are working to educate both locals and expatriates about gender equality and the importance of supporting victims of violence. Cultural exchange programs. Initiatives that promote mutual understanding and respect between Japanese women and Thai communities aim to dismantle harmful stereotypes and foster a more inclusive environment. Changing deep-seated cultural norms requires sustained effort and collaboration, but these initiatives are crucial steps toward creating a safer and more equitable society for Japanese women in Thailandia. Addressing the challenges faced by Japanese women in Thailandia requires a multifaceted approach that combines practical advice, policy recommendations, and community support systems. A. Practical advice for Japanese women. Stay informed. Before traveling or relocating, women should research local laws, customs, and potential risks associated with different areas. Learn basic Thai phrases. Even a rudimentary understanding of the local language can enhance communication and reduce vulnerability. Build a support network. Connecting with other expatriates, joining community groups, and maintaining regular contact with friends and family can provide emotional support and practical assistance. Prioritize safety. Avoiding high-risk areas at night, using reputable transportation services, and being cautious about sharing personal information can mitigate risks. Stronger legal protections. Thailandia should enhance and enforce laws that protect foreign workers from exploitation and violence, ensuring that perpetrators are held accountable. Bilateral cooperation. Increased collaboration between the Japanese and Thailandian governments can lead to more effective prevention strategies, information sharing, and coordinated responses to trafficking and violence. Enhanced support services. Expanding access to legal aid, counseling, and safe housing for Japanese women in distress can provide necessary lifelines during crises. Support groups. Establishing support groups where Japanese women can share experiences and offer mutual assistance can foster a sense of community and reduce feelings of isolation. Empowerment programs. Initiatives such as self-defense classes, financial literacy workshops, and career development programs can empower women to navigate challenges more effectively and build resilience. Advocacy and awareness. Raising awareness about the issues Japanese women face in Thailandia through media campaigns, educational programs, and public discussions can drive societal change and promote a culture of support and understanding. Implementing these solutions requires commitment from both governments and communities to create an environment where Japanese women can live and thrive safely in Thailandia. Thailandia's enchanting allure and vibrant nightlife mask a complex web of challenges faced by Japanese women after dark. From the shadows of human trafficking and violence to the struggles of social isolation and cultural barriers, these hidden struggles paint a stark contrast to the country's picturesque reputation. By shedding light on these issues, we not only bring awareness to the plight of Japanese women in Thailandia, but also advocate for meaningful change. It's imperative to address the root causes of exploitation, strengthen legal protections, and build robust support systems that ensure the safety and well-being of all expatriate women. As we conclude our exploration, we invite you to reflect on the stories shared and consider the steps we can take collectively to foster a safer, more inclusive environment. Whether it's supporting organizations that protect vulnerable women, advocating for policy reforms, or simply spreading awareness, each action contributes to making a difference. The path forward requires not just recognition of these challenges, but a dedicated commitment to confronting and overcoming them. Let's work together to unveil the dark side and pave the way for a brighter, more equitable future for Japanese women in Thailandia. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you found this documentary insightful, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps us continue to bring important stories to light. Until next time, stay safe and informed.